when we speak of seeking peace, of finding inner peace, I think it's a natural question to arise whether or not in seeking peace or in having found it, anger ever has a place or can play a role. I think it's an important question to ask oneself. I try to think about it from the perspective of injustice. And there is an Orthodox saint who speaks of learning to, in a way, accept or endure injustice on one's own behalf, but to not do so on behalf of others. In other words, to, in fact, defend others who are the victims of injustice, prejudice. From such a perspective, I think that in a way that feeling of anger over seeing other people harmed, seeing other people oppressed on many different levels, that does have a place, but then we have to ask ourselves, what do we do with that anger? Does that steal our own inner peace? Do we go about defending others violently? Are we ever allowed to engage in civil disobedience? I think we have some very good examples of very peaceful people, personalities, who were very spiritual people, who engaged quite openly in forms of civil disobedience. One is, of course, let's say Gandhi, who is peaceful non-resistance from a very spiritual place. But I think the key to this, in feeling anger against injustice, is to seek peace from a foundation of essentially love, to do it in a peaceful manner, where one perhaps uses symbols, uses non-violence to make a point, to get a point across, to point out the injustice. If we first feel that anger is called for, we must be careful in how we direct that anger. We direct it against the injustice, perhaps against the institution that has caused that injustice. But we need to show love to perhaps the people, perhaps the bureaucrats, the politicians, even the soldiers, the police. We must come at it from a place of peace. And then, and only then, I would say that anger, to a certain degree, has its fruitful and rightful place.